What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 4 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tyrion, not Old World Classic, Immortal Empire's expanded campaign. So as we saw last time, we have defeated Nakari, acquiring his extremely nice plus 20% speed for the army, and defeat Eataine, taking the Shrine of Ruinous out of Slaanish's grasping claws and presumably tentacles. Tyrion then moved to defeat Laris Dreadbringer, the Chosen of Khaine, and take the Shrine of Khaine back from the Scourge of Khaine. The word Khaine has lost all meaning, but very nice battle saw us defeat Cold One Dread Knights, Blackguard of Nagaron, and Executioners of Khaine as well. Overall, a very nice set of fights and battles. More importantly, the reason that we rushed northward instead of going after and destroying the Dread... Actually, speaking of the Dread Fleet, Sammy Reigns, I can never finish a thought. Yeah, the reason we didn't move to destroy the Dread Fleet was to save Khaine, and herein we did succeed. Torokar still stands, and by gifting the Shrine of Ruinous back to them, which we will do right now, because I don't see any reason why not. Like so. Well, they had 9.2k gold, that's not bad. You wanna join any wars? Huh? Oh, we're only at war with the Scourge of Khaine. So you're already... Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, giving them back to them is fine.
Wise
Like so. Tyrion, in many ways, in this particular campaign, is acting as more of a unifier, and actually, in fact, in that light, Tyrion, Majesty of Ulthuan. We're going with this, as I said last episode, rather than Bloodline of an Aryan, and just because this buffs Tyrion, and this buffs his army and faction, and it's just dumb to choose this over this. And you will also get Righteous Cause for the upkeep reduction. And I do like the recruitment cost reduction, especially since we're about to get exalted units, but I think we're going to start with Unifier for the control and, most importantly, for the diplomatic relations with High Elves. Ooh, actually, speaking of diplomatic with... So the reason that I wanted diplomatic relations with High Elves is to increase our relationship with both Safari and Khaine, to hopefully speed us on the way to confederating them both and acquiring Corhill Lionmane and Belenair the Wise, as they are both legendary lords. The other thought that comes to mind is, last episode I was considering whether to confederate Alarielle early in the game or not. The negative aspect of this is that she has access to unique units, being the reskinned Wood Elf units of the Treekin, Treemen, and Dryads, but admittedly if we really wanted them we could get them from our allies. What now makes me think that maybe we should do this right now, not even the... See, the other negative to this is that by being at war with Safari, it's probably going to push them towards an inclination towards confederation with us faster, especially if they're still at war with the Dread Fleet. But, on the other hand, Alarielle has, as I recall, either a trait or somewhere in her line. I just remember that she has bonus relationship, just like Tyrion does, with the High Elves, and probably higher than 20. So that's pretty important as well. On top of that, if Alarielle levels, she will auto-do her quest battles, and if we confederate her early, we can do the quest battles ourselves, which is not a bad idea either. There's pros and cons, obviously. You know what, I think the pros outweigh the cons this time around, especially since her unique units are gettable from other factions. So in that light, should we confederate her? We have an Elven Forge. Oh, we have a Greater Grove here, and a Shrine of Asuryan. Okay, fair enough. With those two, what we will do is this. We will delete this grove and replace it with a defensive structure, and then we will cancel the Shrine of Asuryan here, because we're likely to get that other one. We'll go for the plaza. We'll let her recruit a little bit. And just because I think if she can get a couple of those unique units, I would like to have them if at all possible. Cadrill is fine, though do we need to build anything right now? Not here and not here. Well, could upgrade the colonnade. Go for the colonnade.
Princess of the Asur.
I could also just go for the Elven Embassy. I'll think about it. It isn't super critical that we do so right now, and the exalted units are going to cost us a decent little chunk of change. Then, I do believe we had one blurb given to us that we will read. And just to double check, yes, it's the one blurb. I assume we'll get the Shrine of Khaine blurb next time, but for now, the Isle of Ulthuan, Lothern. To its people, Lothern is the future. if the elves are to have a future. It was a commercial home to an outward-thinking, sophisticated, mercantile Phoenix King. It was a city of trade, a hybrid cosmopolitan place where the elves mingled with other peoples and learned from them and adapted to the new and altered world. As the source of Eataine's prosperity, Lothern has long been the traditional seat of the Phoenix King. Calidor the Conqueror kept court here, and few of his successors chose to break with that tradition. The Lothern Sea Guard, meanwhile, are the finest of Eataine's warriors. Skilled in both spear and bow, these veteran soldiers fight the Phoenix King's battles both on land and at sea. Should the armies of Ulthuan make war in a distant land, it is inevitable the ships of Lothern invariably the ships of Lothern that bear them hence, and the disciplined advance of the Lothern Sea Guard that will seize the beachheads. The city is also home to the Temple of the Phoenix Kings, the only site beyond the Isle of Flame which is protected by the Phoenix Guard. It also holds the largest library in all Eataine, as well as mansions owned by famous magi such as Inglorion, Starweaver, and Caladris. Lovely. Alright, I believe that's all we gotta do this turn. There's no diplomacy, there is nothing further. I want to drop some names in there, which we could do. But I guess we could also do that next turn. Yeah, alrighty. What's the likelihood that these guys attack Alistar? Low? I'm gonna say low, but just in case, let's do some leveling. Earthing for you, well, or Comet. I'm gonna say Earthing. Comet is so expensive that we're most likely to cast Chain Lightning. You can get Retinue Ooh, hello, you've gotten to Sense of Duty. Okay, so out of all of these, yes to Retinue Trainer, but we're going for Spirited Presence, which gives you personally ward save, and if you are to remain on the Great Eagle, you're gonna need it, as well as Sense of Duty, because it gives us the Hold the Line passive. Not only is this a decent passive, though short range, but the +5 melee defense will stack with the Bolstered Defense aura, giving +10 melee defense to everybody around the Noble, which is quite nice. We do have 1 point remaining, but I haven't decided on the Rains or Sky Stewardship as of yet. Both of which are quite possibly decent. I will continue thinking about it. Though admittedly, we will have a decent amount of infantry in this army. Missile resistance, immunity to flanking when unmounted will be useless. And maybe we just go for Blade Stewardship. I do like the speed for the horse, but they're already going to be super quick thanks to the 20% move speed that we have. We will most likely have a couple of flying units, as in a couple of phoenixes, but this probably won't be sufficient in terms of buffs to help them out, and this will help us in the early game quite a bit. Plus, we could always send you to another army as needed, because Frugal isn't going to be quite as useful to Tyrion as other lords. I'm going to say Blade Stewardship for now for even more reductions. Alright, I believe that's all that we can do, or at the very least all that we are inclined to do right now. Our convoy's moving, and I just gotta double check. You're going to Brigun. So we've been to Bordello, Arnheim, and now Brigun. I have a bad habit of losing track of where we've been and then being confused, and then I fear that that's going to repeat itself. Can we collect money here? You know what, collect the 200. It's a little bit of money, but the growth doesn't really matter there. Evershale you're collecting for now. Eataine is where we're getting most of our cash and are not building anything further, and I'm reasonably happy with this. I believe Alariel is dead for now, so we don't need to confederate her at the moment, but we'll probably do so shortly. End turn. And while I'm sure we're waiting for one blurb, we can do this one. There is possibly no location more important to the histories of all three cultures of elves than the Shrine of Khaine on the Blessed Isle. In this shrine sits the Widowmaker, first drawn and used by the Phoenix King Anarion the Defender. Speaking of Defender, looks like the Drowned will attack Illyrian. Makes sense, I guess. They're kind of bordering them. In fact, they're directly bordering them. Alright, join war inside of ally. And hello! Ooh. Are we in range? Oh, look at that. That's a full stack. Oh, that's what I like to see. Alright, we'll deal with this in a second. This... Hello. This cursed blade calls anyone who comes in it with promises of... What? That's an interesting choice of phrasing. I get that it's talking about the shrine, but still. Okay. The Slaanesh influence is strong. Should have burned down the wine thing after all. Anyway, military axis, defensive alliance, yes. Give us more money, Kathik. I thank you for it. Alright, so let me just double check. This cursed blade calls anyone who comes in it with promises of ultimate power, though as the history of elves has shown, the sword's offer is a fool's bargain, inevitably leading the wielder to cause great death and destruction that echo throughout history long after their own demise. A dramatic little blurb punctuated by some phrasing silliness. Court attendant, what do you do? Your action success chance, eh? At the cost of 8 influence, we get something that would either help an ambushing army or possibly get a tech thieving pretty well, and I'm going to have to go with that. Let's do this. Let's also give this a read. A young prince, impetuous and unknowing of the ways of court, has flown in the face of the order of precedence, speaking out against his elders publicly. This is something that Tyrion would do. But anyway, naturally, scandal has ensued. The Phoenix King is not required to wade into the hierarchical scuffles of the court, yet this prince shows promise. It would be unfortunate if he fell from grace due to his naive impropriety. Privately advise him. This need not be an early end for him. Let the Phoenix King offer guidance. Again, this feels like it's about Tyrion, but anyway, privately advise him, sure. We will make use of that. And there's the blurb that I was expecting. Looks like a short one. And another blurb, Gates of Lothern. Ooh. Amanar, yeah. And Anarian's Curse. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty critical moment. This, however, is a more critical moment. The trespass warning ignored. That does not surprise me. Free court attendant. Good. Then, Cadrill, you... Alright, we still can't attack you. Trespassing warning be ignored, but frankly it doesn't matter because we still can't attack them for 4 turns. It used to be, actually I haven't done this in a while, it used to be that the 10 turns persist regardless of the fact that you issued the trespassing warning, which kind of makes it useless, but nonetheless, if these guys attack us and the AI generally does not give a damn about the trespassing, or breaking agreements, or becoming unreliable, we're going to move Cadrill into Angariel just to defend, and possibly recruit stuff. Then, hey, Lariel's back.
Servant of light.
I guess we will attack. You know what? Yeah, we'll attack, then we'll confederate. Can you reach this? Well, you can reach Robin Rayner, but it looks like you can't reach Silostra, but that's still good. You go here, Alistair. You're gonna want to leech.
I go.
Like so. Yeah, you go, buddy. You go. Also, what do we have in terms of itemization? Nothing changed. The court attendant does not help here. Alright, fair enough. Is there anything we might... You know what we could do? Let's get some names in this army at least before we fight. Yes. Alright, let's do the ship's companies. They've reached rank 7. I think they've earned it, considering how super fragile they are. Freshly drafted. For you. Then you can be Sea Foam Slayers. Like so. Presumably because they die all the time. Company of the Conch. And last but not least, Red Shirts Revenge. Assume should be those. Alrighty, Red Shirts Revenge. And, ooh, yes, the Phoenix. You have also reached a gold chevron, therefore you can get your name as well, and you shall be Tweety. You will get a brother or sister Phoenix as soon as we can get their parents to pop out another one, but really as soon as we can recruit one, which we will most likely do out of the guy in Vale. Oh, also. Read this. Alrighty. Anyway, we'll probably do more building, but I'm excited to fight Silostra and her damned paladins. Ooh, I noticed that Vinola the Mage has leveled as well. Let's get you... I guess we can do Comet now. Or wait, this will make Chain Lightning cheaper and cooldown reduction. It may come in handy. I'm actually going to go for Chain Lightning here. It's more useful against these guys. Alistar, you don't need to level. Actually, their cutting maneuvers will give you personally Strider, which will allow you to get to the battle faster. We'll get you that, and then we'll keep saving points for your unique lines. Like so. Tyrion, let's do this thing. We'll sync right... Oh! It lied. When I moused over it before, it didn't... Okay, well, this is good. I prefer to fight both of them rather than the one, so I'm not complaining. I just don't appreciate being lied to, game. And we will take our rage out on Silostra and her... Oh, she does have Robert Bartholomew with her. Now, the problem with this is that he's an ethereal unit, and a strong one at that, and we have no magical damage. Tyrion doesn't have it. Very surprisingly and strangely, the Keepers of the Flame do not as well. I'm 99% sure they have magical halberds, but find it a little bit odd that they don't have magical damage at all. We're just going to have to pick up a nice Lichbone Pendant and give it to them, because, either way. We'll see how they do, and we'll have to use Tweedy most likely to damage the Paladin and the other ghostly units. Not that the Tyrion won't hurt him some, even without magical damage. Either way, go.
No creature, mage, warrior, or beast can stand against the true elves.
I don't think we've heard that speech as yet. Anyway, here we go. A very exciting start to this episode with Silostra coming in with a full stack, and we'll sort of cut our teeth on the little army that is beside her. We're starting with our range units, focusing down those deck droppers, absolutely not to be underestimated in SFO, and I have a healthy fear of them, and thus I will focus them as best I can whenever, well, possible. Tyrion, in the meantime, has closed the distance, and we will activate our fiery convocation, hitting plenty of enemy units with it, like so. And just to get it on cooldown, while Tyrion moves to the enemy lord, who he knocks to the ground, but that's just going to have to be a tendency here. Then, together with his Phoenix Guard, we surround the enemy lord and those hacking halberds, and Tyrion's Sunfang will tear the horde to shreds in seconds. Or actually, no, he gets back up. Alright, still 50% HP, still pretty good though. Otherwise, one enemy unit of zombie pirate deckhand mobs has closed the distance, but our range units have obliterated all of the, well, the enemy only had the one range unit, a unit of bombers, so we're gonna get a nice silver helm charge into the rear ranks of the enemy. And then pincushion the remaining zombies as they very, very slowly attempt to shamble their way uphill. The enemy lord is done, and now the Tyrion and Phoenix Guard blob has surrounded the vampire fleet captain, who remains on field, but not for long, as the Phoenix Guard execute it, in giving the, well, destroying the very first of the enemy armies. Right on time, though, Silostra and Alistar have arrived on the battlefield, though alas, I don't think we can wait for Alistar here, and are going to have to reposition to quickly deal with Silostra. Admittedly, there's an argument to be made for actually backing off and maybe hitting her army with some spells, or even allowing them to make their way forward a little bit so that the carronades were less protected, but I didn't feel like doing that, so I didn't. We're here already, and we will meet them in the center of the map. And the thing about fighting the undead is that they will not rout off the battle and rout off field, and that means that we don't have to worry about them being close to the edge of the map, because they can't escape anyway. Anyway, more bats are coming. We're going to start off by moving towards the enemy with that chain lightning that we got and popping it off on a couple of those units of zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Obviously, the units of guns are the much more threatening units, but these guys were blobbed up a little bit nicer, and I wanted this thing to hit at least 2 units. I like the rework of the effect of the chain lightning a lot more than I do of the Comet of Cassandra. As I think I like the old one better, but anyway, another fiery convocation gonna pop off and clip 3 units, not so bad, so the fire and lightning spellwork has done well, and it's time for the enemy to close the distance. A unit of scurvy dogs smashes into one of the units of spears holding our left flank, and the Mourngulls, one of my favorite units, will absolutely smash into the line of sea foam slayers here, who, like slayers themselves, rapidly lose about half of their number. We're going to have to meet these Mourngulls with something a little bit beefier, and thusly the Phoenix Guard and their halberds will deal with these monstrosities while the arrows rain down upon them, and considering they are low armored, probably find a decent effect. In the meantime, Tyrion is moving forward, and where is he? In the midst... Oh, I missed it. Okay, well, Tyrion, I was out here fighting Robert Bartholomew, which unfortunately I did miss, but trust me when I say that it was a nice little fight, and I think it was more entertaining watching the fight against the Mourngulls. Either way, Tyrion wasn't the one that did most of the damage there, but Tweety here, who used its magical Phoenix attack. Not the fire bombs, not the wake of fire, just the fact that it has magical attacks to deal with the enemy Ghosty. Anyway, Tweety flies overhead, dropping wakes of fire upon the enemy, and we remain engaged with the enemy main line, but the enemy backliners are suffering between magics and focus fire from our range units. Most of the guns are destroyed. The enemy artillery has fallen to our silver helms, and just a little bit more work, and we'll see the enemy army destroyed. Tyrion has now moved forward towards Silostra, who, together with a contingent of Sirens, is in the midst of our fight. Most likely, next time we do Vampire Coast, I will be playing Silostra, as I haven't gotten the chance. I wonder if there's a mod that'll let her recruit her knights as units rather than as a summon. That'd be great. Also, are the Sirens fading away? Unfortunately, they are. I just wanted to show off one thing. Okay, Silostra disappears, but the thing I wanted to show off was this. If we take a look at this, Phoenix Guard have 350 mass, right? Which is a little bit. Sirens, which are ghostly units, have 1,000. Company of the Calendarian have 113. I don't really know how each Sirenus has 1,000 mass. It feels kind of insane to me, but I take it it's for them to. It's almost as much as a cavalry unit, but it's a little ghost. I don't know. Perhaps it's due to them sort of with the intent of them holding the line, the mass was given to them so that they couldn't easily be charged through, as they are very light in terms of damage dealing, have almost no melee attack, but have that charmed effect, and maybe that combined with the mass gives them their role, which is kind of interesting. Unless it's something that Silostra does for Sirens in her army. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to have to double check what the roster looks like or what the Sirens themselves look like later on. For now, though, a heroic victory sees Silostra's 2 stacks destroyed, and a very nice fight for us. Ooh, free potion of healing out of that. That might be the better choice than the potion of toughness. I'm gonna have to think about that. Either way, a very, very nice fight. I was quite impressed with how tough Silostra was to bring down, in all things considered. I mean, again, the whole ghostly thing probably helps her out a fair bit, but she got the Keepers of the Flame down to about half of their HP. Only 1 model lost, but that's still pretty impressive. We can see on the single entities like the Noble and Tweety here, the ones that didn't regenerate like Tyrion, how much damage they took from enemy gunfire, and yeah, like I said, we're gonna need some defenses on them. And otherwise we did pretty well. For the newly named ships companies, the Red Shirts' revenge got, well, their revenge on the enemy zombies. And for the, well, I guess the archers aren't named, but nonetheless, we got 18k on the best performing unit of High Elven archers, and a little bit less on the Leathern Sea Guard, though admittedly, with the 722 damage delta's gold value, these guys actually did better by virtue of targeting more critical units, like those Mourngulls, which were able to mince one of the ship's companies and force them to withdraw, and I believe they were targeting the damn knights as well, but we can't see them here. But they're obviously large units, ethereal or not. Anyway, a nice fight, a little bit of leveling, and that put us to rank 14, which gets us the recruitment bonus. In addition, we could heal. We could, and keep moving, or we could take the money for the recruitment. Every time. 14% is pretty good. We might actually be able to just immediately land a Tauran, like if we do this. In light of the possibility of landing, I think I'll sacrifice the 900 gold. Force labor, heal up, and keep moving. Also 722 kills on the Noble, but the damage is actually not that high. Not only, quote-unquote, 67k, because, well, most of it was done to basic garbage zombies, like the piles of gunnery mobs, deckhand mobs. Anyway, force labor.
Enslave them.
Alrighty, and, ooh. Alright, defeated Silastra is a pretty solid mid-game trait. Wins a magic power reserve is useful to everybody, and enemy vigor loss reduction is rather strong in SFO. Sense of urgency, recruitment cost reduction, faction wide, like so. Pirate hunter, enemy killed in battle, and there's that potion of healing, plus a white lion chariot for Alistar.
How can I assist?
Yeah, actually, on the white lion chariot,
Lord of the Phoenix Court.
I was about to say, you know what?
Anarian, reborn.
You have the fiery convocation. Well, you know what? Okay, wait. Just give me a second. We'll give the Khaine's Ring of Fury instead to the Mage of the Heavens, and eventually we'll get a fire mage and we'll give her the fiery convocation. Makes sense to me. But what I want to do is give the noble. You know what? Let's give the potion of healing to the noble. Actually, I mean, either way works. Potion of healing. He does get damaged by everything constantly, so poor fella needs it. Alright, then we only have one turn remaining of the Invocation of Asuryan, so we'll pop up the Abandoned Shrine, and might as well get started on the Watchtower. It's going to take a long time to build. I hate to waste the 2,000 gold. And the place, because of its red territory state and the casualty or punishment rate, is probably not going to be easily defensible for a while, but eventually it will be. And we'll build another building there of some sort, eventually. Yeah, I'm hoping we'll immediately be able to reach and land at Moran, like, after this. I guess it also depends on what Callan does. Oh, I'd like to get the Tularis defeat trait, if possible. I can't guarantee that it is, though. That's a mysterious island. There's no fight there. We could freely go in there. What are you doing? Oh yeah, go piss off Bellicor. That's gonna end well for you. Cathek, it always ends well for you, I'm sure. Anyway, let's do the next blurb, since we got a few. 3 or something. Shrine of the Widowmaker. This is the important one. Yeah. Alright, rising over the misty wilderness of the Blighted Isle, largest of the surviving islands, is the great shrine of Khaine, the war god of the elves. The shrine has long been abandoned, but it is still a place of great power and of deep significance to both the High Elves and the Dark Elves. Both worship Khaine as a god, and both claim his shrine. The shrine itself is a massive black altar within which is embedded Khaine's Widowmaker, a weapon of immeasurable power forged by Vol himself. Everyone who looks upon it sees a different weapon, whether spear, sword, or axe. All agree that the weapon drips blood, and those who have dared to behold it can feel it singing in their soul, to their soul, filling them with promises of destruction. The Dark Elves would use this weapon in an instant if they could but seize it. Well, Malekith had the opportunity and didn't draw it, so I don't know about that, and Tyrion did, so I'm just saying. Yet they have never been able to control the Blighted Isle long enough to perform the rituals that would allow its release. For their part, the High Elves have lost too many kings to Khaine's madness to even consider employing his Widowmaker. Thus, no matter how stretched the armies of Ulthuan become, a watch is always kept upon the Shrine of Khaine to ensure the Phoenix King learns swiftly when the Dark Elves return. Alright, now the next thing is, as I said, we were going to confederate Alariel. So let's do it. Into Patrons of the Realms. Court Unity, we need to develop our patronage with Avalorn, and I guess we'll give it to Cadril for now, because the Avalornian patronage gives us bonuses versus archers, and Cadril will be the one commanding the archer army for a while. Eventually, we'll have others. And I note that this doesn't benefit Lothern Seaguard or Gate Guard, it's just basic archers and Sisters of Avalorn. So yeah. Oh, I wonder if we can build the Maiden Guard. Depends on whether it's unique to Alariel or just... No, okay, we'll see. Yes. Take patronage? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Now this gives you casualty punishment rate, missile strength, ward save for forest battles, and Vanguard for Sisters of Avalorn, which will be great for Alariel once she eventually takes it back. For now, though, this gives us the ability to confederate her. Do we want to do anything before we do this? You know what? I want to do this. Go to Courtly Intrigue and talk to Safari. Improve relations, plus 40, good. Up to 138, plus 20, up to 158, okay. That'll put us up to 150 eventually. Then, Alariel, we will confederate you. And so the lovers are reunited, and that completes the Caradrian quest, or at the very least the first level of the Caradrian quest, which means I gotta give this a read. In these uncertain times, the guidance of the Creator God shall be crucial to the security of the realms. In the greatest struggles, it is the devoted guardians of Asuryan, the Phoenix Guard, who are always found where the fighting is the fiercest and the hardest victories are won. Thus, an enduring display of our faith shall demonstrate that we are worthy of Asuryan's strength through the Guard's service. Fair enough. And we have to recruit 2 Phoenixes or Phoenix Guard, and apparently the Phoenix Guard Regiment of Renown don't count. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, it's right here. Keepers of the Flame, but it says 0. Maybe it... Okay, wait, give me a minute. And Deepwood Branch, don't really care. Mission aborted. Actually, wait, I do care about the Deepwood Branch. I lied. Ally loses outpost, fine. And the reason I care about the Deepwood Branch is we can give it to you, sir. It's 20% missile resistance. No, 15%. You're gonna keep getting shot up while you're on that, eagle, so, yeah. Do that. Ooh, that took a lot of our money. But it is what it is. Guy in Vale, you are going to go into the rebuild. Lost Splendor for obvious reasons. Oh, too bad we won't have the Invocation anymore. Almost tempted to... This is minus 50%, this is minus 20%. If I want to build stuff, this may be the time to do it. Ooh, that's a question. Elven Gardens versus Plaza and or Promenade. We will need the public order here because it's otherwise terrible. This will give us another noble capacity. What nobles do we have access to right now? Oh, of course we get the 2 really good ones. Dynamo, which gives speed to the entire army, and Crushing, which gives weapon strength, charge bonus, and physical resistance. Oh, come on, game. I guess what we could do is get it up and running and then delete it after. Or we could forego the exotic animal tamer, though admittedly I wanted to get this to get the cheaper eagles and the additional trading that we're doing. It's a choice. I could always build the Elven Gardens and delete it later. I hate to do that, though. There's another noble. On the other hand, do we want to afford another noble right now? They're 325 gold per turn, which is a little bit iffy. You know what? I'm gonna build a plaza for now, then. We will deal with it later. Next, hey, you got 2 Treekin, lovely, and 1 Dryad. A couple of Eagle Claws, and you have 4 Handmaidens. Wow. What level are you at? You're rank 9. Militia Master and Master Strategist. I mean, Militia Master is okay, assuming you get other archers. Master Strategist is not useful for you, though. And we'll have to reset you until... Oh, it's only 25 diplomatic. No, 50 diplomatic relations with High Elves. Yeah, see, this is what I wanted for Safari and for... Crace. Funnily enough, this would have counteracted our Confederation malice. Sadly, though, she needs to be at rank 12, so while I'd love to reset her, I think instead we'll start moving her immediately. I would also like to see... What items do you hold? Banner of Avalorn and Horn of Isha, I believe those are the ones that she starts with, so that's fine. What do we have here? Attentive. Really? Speed of Asuryan. So... These guys, the Handmaidens, they give the passive ability of Hawkish Precision to all range units, with the exception of Gate Guard, I think. High Elven Archers have an Archers, Talons of Torqualida. Yeah. Everybody that isn't a Gate Guard gets this. Why are Gate Guard excluded? Screw you, that's why, apparently. I don't know. But that does mean we want at least 1 Handmaiden in every army that... as a ranged unit. I guess what we can do, then... Genius? Free research rate. Honestly, these traits are kind of bad, but at the same time, we may as well get these guys leveling. We will send you down here to join Cadril, because you're close. Unfortunately, since you're no longer at war with these guys, you're going to have a little bit tougher a time. We are going to have a little bit tougher a time confederating you. And we can't do the defensive alliance because I don't trust it. At least not right now. Crace is no longer at war with anybody. Or will not be in a few moments. Unless, wait. Oh, no, they're not at war with these guys. Yeah, so iffy. And you're barely willing to peace out as well. I wanted to see if we could get money for them. Oh, wow, they're upgrading Tyranlik to tier 4 already? We don't even have our first tier 3. Oh, yes, we do, Lothern. But nonetheless, damn you AI and your cheats.
protector of Ulthuan.
Yeah, I think you're okay. Just sit here, we'll see what Sammy Rains does. Did that Confederation do anything for our trade agreement possibilities? Yes, we can trade with Nagaryth. Non-aggression pact and trade agreement, more money flowing into the coffers. How are they doing otherwise? 7 settlements? Pretty solid. Good job, Eataine. Defensive lines with Safri will ignore. And everything else we'll ignore for now, including the peace agreement. Lovely. Plus, again, we did want to get recruitment coming in from Cadril. I do wonder if we want to do it right now or save it for next turn. I feel like we want to do this when we have our first ranked up to... our second lord, rather, ranked up to rank 10, which will be either one of them. Anyway, Alariel, you're going this way, I think. We need you to leech XP. And frankly, you're costing us 2,000 gold per turn, but I don't think we can delete anything here. And frankly, one of the Eagle Claw bolt throwers can go to Cadril. We'll have uses for the Great Eagles as well. Plus, they're at 190. They're not that expensive considering how good they are, so I'm just going to leave them there. Alright, I think that's good in terms of the positioning. Post-Confederation, it always takes a little bit of admin work, mind you. Now let's do the next blurb. First one was the Isle of Ulthuan. Next is Gates of Lothern. Approaching Lothern, the first thing a mariner sees is the Glittering Tower, a great lighthouse filled with thousands of lamps, situated on a rocky isle in the mouth of the treacherous Straits of Lothern. Right there. This titanic fortress guards the approach to the Emerald Gate, and the first sea gate of Lothern. Anyone approaching the Emerald Gate can easily be caught in a crossfire between the massed war engines in the Glittering Tower and those on the gate itself. Any who are allowed to or through the Emerald Gate pass through the wide channel of the straits, sheer cliff faces lined with ramparts, all constantly garrisoned by the well-armed and alert warriors of the Sea Guard. A second portal bears the way for those who are not permitted access, a vast gate of shining silver set with sapphires the size of a man's head, beyond which lies a huge lagoon where thousands of vessels of every conceivable size and shape, from tiny pleasure craft to the mighty warships of the High Elf fleet, lie at anchor. Around this lagoon sits Lothern itself, and this is as far as any non-elf may travel. Outsiders are forbidden to pass through the third gate of ruby and gold and into the inner sea. In these days of dwindling, Lothern is as much a foreign city as an elven one, for the many merchants who bustle through its streets now seem as numerous as the High Elves with whom they trade. Alright, then we got Aminar, yes, the big mereworm, big boy. In the murky deeps below, far below Lothern's Emerald Gate slumbers Aminar, ancient protector of the city. Only in hours of the greatest need does the mereworm rouse and rise to the surface to consume those who would bring about Lothern's ruin. The records kept in the Glittering Tower tell that Aminar has manifested but 3 times in recorded history. The first was during the Demon Invasion, where he swallowed whole a legion that laid siege to the city. Bound to get indigestion from that. The second came during the Sundering, where his broad back held Lothern high above the tidal waves that swamped Ulthuan. The third, and to date final appearance of Aminar came during the Great Incursion. With a great sweep of his tail, he scattered much of the Dark Elf army. Then, ignoring the pinpricks of their blades, he turned and bore the Black Ark in tolerable delight beneath the waves, never to be seen again. And lastly, no, not Folly of Youth, heir of Anarion. Tyrion was worried. Despite his best efforts, he was sure that those with him would have noted his tension, but none dared comment on it. Let us do what we came here for and hope that no evil befalls us, he declared. This shrine was the dark place that tainted his soul, the source of the curse of Anarion that he feared would consume him one day. His duties had brought him here before, casting the Druki back to their frozen wasteland, or fighting the ever-present demonic presence of Nakari that had brought him close, too close, to the blade. Tyrion shivered as he recalled the voice of the Widowmaker whispering its half-truths, tempting him to wield the blade for himself and give in to its bloodthirsty madness. Would he resist the blade this time? Tyrion sighed. He was not certain. I'm certain that we can end the turn, though, so let's end it. Skip, and ooh, commandment available. Oh, whoa. I did the commandment here. Oh, we have Phoenix Gate, which we are going to pop into trade tariffs. Tribute to the Phoenix King.
Queen of
Lovely. And, ooh, wait.
Alariel.
You will get, yeah, see, mission for this item will be issued at rank 10. If we hadn't confederated her, most likely she would have leveled up and we wouldn't have gotten a quest battle out of it. I think worth it then. Alright, and skip and end the turn. Let's see what happens here. And see if we can land here. And, oh, I did not realize how close Desta and Cold I was. Oh, no. I have concerns. Hopefully he doesn't immediately sink our main fleet. He's got a full stack and a pretty solid one at that. Alright, moment of truth will be at the edge of the, or at the end of the line up, the queue, whatever, of factions here. There's a big blurb. Oh, that's a big blurb. We'll save it. And we've already read that one. There's no blurb for the Phoenix Gate. And... where are you going? See, now, I don't want you to attack Talaris, but you are, I take it, in range of him, which may mean we're better off landing, not besieging Toran-like, since we don't have Siege Attacker to immediately attack and defeat Talaris. And I fear that we won't be able to... Okay, well, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's find out in a second. Where did that fleet go away from us? That's fine. I'm happy with that. At least for now. Ally begins outpost construction. Everqueen of Ulthuan. Ilariel's coronation. We'll give you a read in a bit. Ready for duty, Kivan. I don't know who you are. Oh, we must have gotten you with the Confederation. You're rank 5. Okay, you know what? And we got a technology researched. But to this Kivan guy... I have a use for you, sir. You have... I'm gonna get you on field, and I'm gonna immediately reset you. We'll use you as a recruiter, Lord. And we can get bonded service out of you. Yeah. I think that'll work. Reset your skill points, buddy. Like so. Wounded or not, you will come in handy. Then... you. Can you... Okay, what the heck? Can't see that. Okay, there it is. Maybe, but the problem is you're nearby and you're going after Talaris. You can't beat the defenders of Toran like I'm willing to bet. Meaning, we're probably better off landing. If we could go to the Shrine of Khaine just at the edge here, we could probably reach Toran like and... Yeah, alright, fine. I didn't want to do this, but we'll go here. Like so. And this will allow us to heal, teensy bit. And then Alistar, you are going to follow by going into the Shrine of Khaine, or at least just outside it, or just go into the Shrine of Khaine. Oh, actually you can travel further than I was expecting. I guess the question is, you know what? In non-march stance, you can't go that far. Yeah. Alright, fine. Go... Oh, I want you to heal as well, but you're barely healing anyway. You know, you can't go here, I think. Yeah, it won't let you cross. Just go into Toran, like so. Just make sure that you're beside Tyrion. I just want to make sure that you guys... Okay, that's probably too far. I just want to make sure that they can reach Toran, next turn. Ilariel, I need you to move close enough to Phoenix Gate, or just outside it, like so, to also leech at Toran, so that we can strike at it next turn. Then, how are we doing out here?
The sea brings Gallant's graveyard. Only offers death
okay,
to your
see,
kind.
this is where it's lying. It's the two-turn thing has disappeared, but in reality, I'm pretty sure that it is... we can't actually declare war on them because it would call us iffy. Call into question what we're doing. Up to 123 now, but that's with minus 40 Confederation penalty. 4 more turns of this, as long as nobody turns on us. In fact, let's take a quick look at what we're looking... Take a quick look at what we're looking at. At the... other High Elves. Nagaryth is not super happy about this, but hopefully they don't cancel any of their agreements in the 4 turns. Tyranok is not super happy with this, but they're getting kind of wiped out here, so not really our problem at this time. Brace. Ally missions, Altherlos. We'll take your mission. Then we will... Actually double check everybody else's diplomacy. Oh no, that's the Safri thing. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, we'll ignore that. We'll pick a new tech. And actually, it may behoove us to not proceed with one of these for now, but maybe even go for some of these here. We have growth, construction reduction for High Elf industry and resource buildings. This will pay for itself, even at 4,000 cost. It's pretty decent. Okay, Campaign movement range is also nice, and the hero success chance would allow us to do tech thieving. As soon as we send one of the tech thieves out. I'm gonna say get the Heralds of Civilization. Try to afford it.
Does Teclis know of this?
Again, unfortunately, with Lariel's army costing an arm and a leg, there isn't anything we can do about increasing our income too much. This will also take a while to pay for itself, but probably worth it out. These things take 2 turns to build now. You, we can upgrade once that tech is unlocked. Tempted to build the colonnade, but I think we have to prioritize things that will make us more money more cheaply. Shrine of Lilith or Caranthal. Now this will get us a craftsman, so let's build the haven here. This place is obviously barely growing. We will eventually, in fact, no, we will right now want to switch you to additional growth for Banished Corruption. Frankly, the tech will also give us additional growth. I'd love to get the Vol's Anvil or the Invocation of Vol up and running as well, but at 6,000 gold, I'd rather put in the... I'd rather get the additional cash. The estate is not a bad choice either. Also, you will need to channel. Ah, well, we're gonna reset you, so all your mana is gonna be gone anyway. Alright, let's build up the colonnade. I don't like the horrific public order that the place has. This place at least is fine, even though this will generate us cash. I'm gonna say start with the estate and keep hold of at least a little bit of money. Then, we got another blurb for us. Coronation of the Everqueen. I'd love to end the turn on attack Toran. Like, we'll do that in a moment. Lariel's coronation. Was that the only one? The only blurb? Yes, it is. Alright. All around the island of Ulthuan, elves were dying. War had come to her fair isle, the Druki once again bringing hate and blood to the land they had forsaken all those centuries ago. That age was a time of legend to Alariel, but little more than a blink of an eye to the power that dwelled within her. Chosen since before her birth to take up the mantle of Everqueen, she had studied and trained for decades before rising to become one of Ulthuan's twin rulers. She remembered the day of her coronation, the terror and awesome sense of multiple threads of fate converging upon her. Though complex rituals of magical preparation had readied her for the moment of surrender, nothing could have prepared her for the surging torrent of power that coursed through her. The crown upon her brow was a living connection to every queen who had ruled in Avalorn. Their memories were her memories, and she struggled to hold on to all that was Alariel. Kind of a similar sort of... some surface similarities to what happens with Orion, but anyway, what the Asur called the Everqueen had rose up within her, claiming her for its own ancient purpose. The lives, loves, hopes, and dreams and nightmares of all who had held the title before her filled her mind with ancient knowledge. Yeah, Orion has the same sort of thing, though obviously he's the avatar of Kurnus. All the princes that are sacrificed to make his avatar do this exact same situation. Anyway, her mother and grandmother rose up to greet her, easing her into the embrace of the Everqueen and welcoming her to their numberless sisterhood. The line of motherhood stretched back to time immemorial, and Alariel felt the strength of her lineage steel her to retain her own identity in the face of the vast elemental power of the Everqueen. Skip, 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 enter. Alright, I forgot about Zilnalon. That's okay though, cause you're still... Oh. Why did I send you out to sea? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Alright, Sammy Rains, what you gonna do? I'm actually surprised that he hasn't been replaced by the by Noctis yet. And oh, I forgot to keep count of how many turns we had left until we could declare war on them. I don't like that Eltharion is on the way here just because of Sammy Rains actually takes the opportunity to take Port Ellistor. Okay, Celestra, is this the time? Is it? 2,000 gold for a peace treaty, but we want this. Assuming we can reach it before Gilgallion, who appears to have nearly wiped out Tyrannoc. But that's fine. We don't really care about Tyrannoc. Only enough it was talking about how the Druki bring... Whoa, what the heck are you doing now? Was talking about how the Druki bring blood and hatred to the island of Ulthuan. Tyrannoc are pretty xenophobic, but they're getting wiped out, so there's some hatred there. I think most of the rest of the elves are more sort of apathetic, but anyway, looks like you guys have lost an army again. I'm gonna double check on what that confederation with you looks like. Alright, hopefully Krace has not besieged Toran, like that would be unfortunate. Again, not that it's a big deal that we get that defeat trait, because it's not that great, but anyway. Construction cost reduction and growth, that'll come in very handy. Minus 64 still high, and it hasn't budged, interestingly. Alright, now Sammy Reigns. You're not taking the shrine, ain't no way. So we're free to sit at Angariel for now. You can help out and replenish troops, like so. The 4 heroes feels like a little bit much. But I like the 20% ammunition offered by the noble. I wonder, can handmaidens be frugal? I guess we'll see once we get the building that lets us recruit them. Alright, Krace is backed off now. Alright, so Tyrion, can you reach Talaris? You can. The only question is, can everybody else... Okay, so wait, you... I feel that he's gonna run. But I guess we'll see. Almost tempted to not move in with Ilariel, because she'll definitely make them run away. That's not so great. We need her to reach rank 12 as fast as possible, but I would prefer to get the defeat trait, if possible.
It shall come to pass.
But I feel like we should take the opportunity for them to fight together. We can still do so at Toran, like, and we can temporarily give Tyrion a... Oh! Actually, we don't need to directly attack Talaris. I almost screwed that up. Alright, Tyrion. You're going directly to Toran, like so. We got this. And continue siege. Talaris will reinforce. Then we will switch you to Noble Prestige. Then, Alistar, you are going to move in like so. And you will temporarily grab one of Tyrion's troops. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm gonna say one of the spears. They're the least needed here. Although, I was contemplating giving you a couple of... I'll think about it. Anyway, Ilariel, you are going to go right here. You're going to transfer to Tyrion, if I can click on him. I think so. Transfer to Tyrion. One of these. Which is why we took away one of his troops. This will allow both of you to leech, and it will allow us to immediately attack it. Let's do... Actually, no. I think we did a bit of reading, and therefore I think it's time to attack. Like so. They didn't leave. I was thinking that the defending little army would actually attempt to leave the settlement, but apparently not. Away we go.
No creature, mage, warrior, or beast can stand against the true elves.
Alrighty, here we go. I like how the flowers are sort of blue and bluish, grayish, and red. Kind of matches Tyrion's whole thing here, the color scheme. It's working for me. Anyway, here we go, the last stand of Talaris Dreadbringer, and of course, more importantly than that, the lovers are reunited as the Everqueen marches to war. Although, we will want to perhaps get the defeat trait on Talaris, so what we're going to do is try to damage him a little bit. While we bring down the towers, we have to wait anyway, and see him shatter instead of directly killing him, so that we could then kill him again. If is it gonna work, we'll have to see. Ooh, do have to be careful with him. He hits for 900 weapon strength and 94 melee attack, and this is without Murderous Mastery up and running. Talaris is a very nasty lord, hitting harder than Tyrion. I like to see it, though. It'll be fun playing him eventually. Unfortunately, he started at, what, less than half HP and gets Tyrion down to half HP himself. We can only deliver maybe one more blow to him. I don't want to accidentally kill him, however, so we're going to back off. And we're going to send the cavalry in to just ride him down, damage him enough without killing him, I hope. And with him being surrounded, it looks like he will break, as he is not unbreakable, but that actually works for us here. Though I do wonder if he was ranked 12, whether he would become unbreakable. Either way, the Silver Helms will chase him down while we continue bringing down the enemy towers and the gate with our newly acquired Eagle Claw bolt throwers. Also, the Eagle Claws have 4 artillery piece models in them, but I noticed that the Exalted Eagle Claw bolt throwers have 6, which is going to be pretty interesting. I want to see how an artillery-heavy army with the superpowered bolt throwers, Exalted bolt throwers, works out. Probably going to be pretty nice. Although I probably will give Cadril one Exalted Bolter herself as well. Anyway, with the gate having been penetrated, Tyrion and Alariel get ready to move towards the enemy. Luckily, Alariel seems to start with a mount, and thusly we don't have to wait for her to slowly wander up. And though we will... Oh, wait, also, that reminds me, Alistar is also on field now, and he has got his White Lion Chariot, which I'm excited to see in action. And we'll have to figure out what kind of army we give him to make sure that it doesn't repeat his typical composition. Of course, with the mainstays still the White Lions, but a few other things thrown in. Anyway, let's speed this up a teensy bit while we head on in. Alariel has brought 3 handmaidens of the Everqueen, one of which we will most likely punt off towards Tyrion. But our single entities on mounts will be the first to head through the gate. There we go, with of course Tyrion in the lead, and ooh, I love this burnt orange color scheme on the Blackheart Corsairs as well. I'm very surprised by this, as orange color schemes aren't typically my favorite, but this one's really working. Well, it's the difference between the burnt orange with the gold accents and the silver gray armor, as opposed to just like regular non-burnt orange. You know what I mean? Anyway, here we go. The handmaidens of the Everqueen to join the fray together with Tyrion and the Everqueen herself, while Alistar barrels through them with his Warline Chariot. Of course, the rest of our army is heading here as well. It's going to take a little while. But in the lead will be Alariel's pile of Shuriken. And I'm glad that we got at least a couple of these units, because while they will be identical mostly to the ones used by the Wood Elves, I do like this color scheme. It's quite nice. Alright, and there we go. Alariel using some of her fancy sort of magical attacks against the enemy. Someone on the Discord said that Tyrion has some kind of issue with his melee attacks where he doesn't have as much splash damage, or the angle of his splash damage for fighting infantry units is off compared to what it should be. And there's a mod that fixes it. I don't know if that's the case in SFO or not, but it might behoove us to occasionally watch him. Anyway, we get a nice couple of spells up, the Fiery Convocation in the background moving through the ranks of enemy range units, while of course our Eagle Claw Bolters come down upon them, and Chain Lightning follows that up. Up in the sky over here, we moved in with our Flyers, and then we're going to back them off now that they've taken a little bit of damage. And once we've backed off, just so that it doesn't feel cheap, then we're free to drop a few of the bombs on the enemy. And the Wake of Fire will see all 3 of those units severely damaged, while the 4th unit was just damaged by us directly attacking it. Besides, the reason we went up here was not to go after these guys, but for the Reaper Bolt throwers, so that they would not fire on us anymore. At least these ones would not. The enemy does have 2 more to their name. Otherwise, our range units have arrived, and arrows and bolts alike are going over the walls. These ship's companies now made much stronger by the fact that they have the Treekin to make them tankier, which is looking pretty darn nice. And Tyrion, what are we at in terms of kills? 32. Huh, yeah, that does seem a little bit low. He has been fighting for a while. Yeah, there's a blow, and he only got the 1 kill. Oh, but that's a Blackguard unit. Okay, well, that makes sense that he's not killing several Blackguard with every blow. That might be ridiculous. But before the Blackguard got here, he was fighting. Maybe he does have the angle issues. Like I said, and there was a mention of a mod in the Discord that fixes this, giving him the same angle of attack as Archaon has. And we could obviously get that. Ooh, that's a fancy flag for the... there it goes. I was looking at the banner game, come on, for the Blackguard and Nagaron. Speaking of the Blackguard, it looks like with that, they shatter. Talaris Dreadbringer did fight a little bit, and we have to back off the Red Shirt's revenge just so they don't kill him. He did not shatter and went back into the fight with 53 HP. And here, and we will make sure to end the battle and try not to kill him. At this point, I turned auto-fire off all the range units, and the only thing that we have to do is fly over this enemy sorceress, which will then shatter and give the battle to us. A very nice fight, and with that, the Scourge of Khaine has effectively been destroyed. Well, Flyers will back off, but hopefully will be destroyed next turn. Alrighty, there we go. Toranlik falls in Talaris. We managed to keep alive, just barely, to see if we can't get his defeat rate one last time. Though he's gonna back off, and I don't know if we can chase him down with Lariel. We'll give it a shot. Either way, another nice battle. Ooh, and a rank up for Tyrion as well. Hopefully the same for Alistar and Lariel here. Now, lots of work out of, well, actually, decent job for the Treekin. They leading their charge through the gate. Good work for our Eagle Claw bolt throwers. We've been needing siege attacker on Tyrion for a while, so I'm actually really quite glad that we got this. And the second one can go to Cadril as soon as her army is ready to go, and as soon as we start up against the Dread Fleet again. And we're just going to have to, you know what, we probably will want to transfer one of the Handmaidens to Tyrion's army as well. He's not going to have too much use for a handmaiden. However, the way I figure it is you generally want at least as many as possible, one copy of each hero type in your main stack, because it fights the most, it gets the most XP, and thereby it will get the most use out of Mentor. So there is that to consider. Either way, though, we will occupy Toranlik like so. Oh, what? I don't know you could do that. I thought they could only... Huh. I thought that if they were defeated, if they stayed, they had to back off before. Well, it doesn't really matter, but it's... Screw you. Alrighty, so Alariel, yeah, you can't reach Talaris. And the question then is... Oh, you're probably going to kill him. Darn. Oh well, not a big deal. We got this on Tyrion, and... Huh? Hero recruited Caradrian? Oh, I guess just something needed to happen, and whatever that was initiated the Tweety and the Keepers of the Flame counting, so we got him immediately. Well, that's lovely. You gotta love Caradrian. All right. Oh, it would have been amazing for Caradrian to duel Talaris. Oh, that would have been a great contest. Yeah. Captain of the Phoenix Guard versus Captain of the Executioners, but oh well. Also, you have a free item. You also don't have magical attacks. Seriously, what the heck, game? It's weird. It's trying to say weird. Anyway, we will give this a read. Caradrian was an arrogant lordling in his youth. Handsome, rich, powerful, and conceited. He was the very archetype of the jaded high elf aristocrat. There was no rumor he would not foster, no intrigue to which he would not stoop. By all accounts, his petty nature was such that even his family would have long ago cast him out, were it not for the fact that such an act would have been a break with all tradition. Caradrian's life changed when he made a pilgrimage to the shrine of Asuryan, a journey which all high elf nobles are expected to undertake at least once. There, and perhaps the worst display of arrogance in his life, Caradrian stole into the holy chamber of days. What he witnessed there, no one knows, but when he emerged, he was a changed man. On his forehead was the glowing rune of Asuryan, marking him as the servant of the Creator God. On that day, Caradrian gave up all his worldly possessions and took the vows of the Phoenix Guard. He has not uttered a word ever since. Caradrian spends long days in secluded meditation, reading the fiery letters that tell of the past, the present, and the future. At times, he stands atop the walls of the shrine, his keen gaze scouring the lands of Ulthuan. Indeed, it is said that no event is so small as to evade Caradrian's gaze, and no sound small enough to escape his hearing. Some have accused him of harnessing the prophecies of Asuryan in order to influence the future, a transgression against the Creator God ranked amongst the highest of blasphemies. However, the truth of the matter is that Caradrian simply notices things that others do not, and has no prattling tongue to distract him from matters of greater import. Over his long years of study and contemplation, Caradrian has become ever closer to the thoughts of Asuryan, until finally, the hand of the Creator marked him as the captain of the Phoenix Guard, and Moralier, the previous captain, willingly stood aside in accordance with Asuryan's will. Now he leads the devoted guardians of Asuryan during times of peace and war. There is divine strength in his hand, and the wisdom of Asuryan sits upon his noble brow. Caradrian normally fights at the head of the Phoenix Guard, as befits his rank, but sometimes conducts the battle from the back of Ashtari, oldest and wisest of the phoenixes of the Flamespire. Theirs is a bond that goes back centuries, to Caradrian's earliest days of service. At the Battle of Finuval Plain, Ashtari picked an unequal fight with the Black Dragon Korzarandar, and it was only Caradrian's intervention that rescued the Phoenix from a grisly fate. Since those days, both Ashtari's flames and impetuousness have faded to naught, but his loyalty to Caradrian burns as brightly as ever. And we did not read this, but it's tiny. The never-ending war takes a heavy toll. Though we have seen many great triumphs, the enemies of Ulthuan still descend. Current total 4. How do I get 4? Arcane Phoenix, Phoenix Guard, Frostfire Phoenix, Frostheart Phoenix rather, Omen of Asuryan, we don't have that, Frostheart Phoenix, Flamespire Phoenix, Frostheart Okay, I don't know why it says 4, but whatever. The never-ending war takes its toll. Though we have seen many great triumphs, the enemies of Ulthuan descend upon our shores, intent on our annihilation. The recent construction of a new sanctum gives us the esteem to call upon the Creator's God's purifying flames to help us scorch our enemies from the world. Let the Phoenix Guard march from their sacred battlements to drive forth Ulthuan's will, as the very air above is set ablaze by the wings of phoenixes. A stately ceremony to call forth a stately hero of divine strength, the living vessel of Asuryan's will, Caradrian, captain of the Phoenix Guard. Lovely. And we got free money out of it. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, Tyrion, I need you to exit the settlement. Then I need you to go into Lilith's Blessing to channel. Then I need you to... Oh, we already picked up Unifier. Yes. Now, where is dedication to Khaine? Okay, it's not here. Well, that's a... Oh, wow. 20 speed. That's actually going to be a problem. Tyrion himself is going to be too fast. It may actually benefit... Ooh, you know what? Wait. At the cost of the control for all provinces, if we later get the Accursed Armor, we may actually want to give him Accursed Armor to slow him down. If he gets up to like 200 speed, and then we give him the Accursed Armor, he'll be at a normal sort of speed to the point that he won't hopefully be running around like lords. Running around lords in a little circle. If anybody remembers the Bathsheba campaign, there was some silliness going on there because of it. Anyway, I'm gonna forego the dedication for now. He will have gate guards, so, and maybe Lothern, the exalted variant, but I'll think about it. There's no buffs for Silver Helms in any of these, so it's basically dedication to Asuryan, depending on how many Phoenix Guard he has. But I feel like we should give, oh, enables magical attacks for Phoenix Guard. Yeah, that's what they need, but you can only get it for Caradrian. Doesn't some random alchemist, some garbage random alchemist from Catha give everybody in the army magical attacks? What the heck, game? But anyway. Yeah, I feel like he should lead his own army, perhaps. Sort of lead. But for now, there is no better army to level him up than in Tyrion's. Actually, speaking of Tyrion. Let us then... Okay, you transfer spears to Alariel. Alariel, barely leveled up. I was hoping one of you would reach rank 10. Alariel, I would like you to take up... I guess another one of the spears. You know what, just take both of the spears. I think we won't have enough of a melee line. Maybe we can deal with it. You know what? Take the eagles. So I don't dislike the idea of having eagles with Alariel for now. She's not going to have a full army for a bit. And then that'll put you to 19 out of 20. I could also just give you the other eagle claw. What else would we want to remove from your army temporarily, though? Go with one for now. It's not critical to what this army is about. And the eagles will be swapped out, but eventually. The other thing I wanted to do is transfer one of the handmaidens to Tyrion, if I can actually... It's impossible. Okay, I can't click on Alariel from here. What do we have in terms of traits? So we have Thinker, Hero Action Success Chance, Hale and Hearty, Physical Resistance 20%, and Attentive, Experience for units, and Hero Recruit rank. I'm kind of tempted to go Hale and Hardy just because you're more likely to be in Mala and Tyrion's army than in Ilariel's, I think. Yeah. Knew this. There we go. I note that you also have replenished troops just like the nobles do, which means there's a little bit of overlap there, but it's not the biggest of deals. Anyway, that's good for now. Toranlek. The other thing I want to do is put Ilariel into Toranlek. The reason being, if these guys besiege, since this was their last settlement, we can hopefully still get the defeat rate, assuming they move before this army does. If they don't, then this army will wipe them out. There's nothing we can do about that. You do not need to channel. Okay, you're good. Alright, technology. We could go for Unite Local Nobility. Just do it. It's 4,000 gold, which is kind of insane, but it is what it is. Caradhran. Oh! I just realized now we can't have the Eagles. We gotta put Caradhran in the army, too. Tyrion. There you go.
The Everqueen.
Frankly, yeah, that's gonna be too many heroes, so we will take some units out. Plus, we'll want to get some exalted units in here very soon, in fact, as we now should have access to them very shortly. And we'll probably start recruiting them next turn, maybe? Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to double-check Diplo. And there is nothing. I believe we're ending the turn then. Alright, skip. Outpost available with, I don't think anybody that matters. We still have the public order malice. Unfortunate. Actually, let's take a look at what our public order looks like right now. -9 in the Gaian Vale. The colonnade is being built. Gonna take a bit. We could and frankly probably should upgrade these two, though. Oh, Torsarwar has wood, does it? Let's go for the Haven here. And Eataine, we should upgrade these guys. We don't have an Elven Craftsman at the Shrine of Asuryan, which we will probably want to build because it will generate money. None of these are going to get any cheaper anytime soon, so yeah, just do it. It's additional growth, it's additional, well, everything. Assuming this doesn't reduce the construction cost, but no, it does not. High Elf Industry and Resource Buildings. Yeah. Alright, I wonder if well, actually, the upkeep production for Lords and Heroes would be quite useful to us because we have several handmaidens. Though, funnily enough, they only cost half as much as a noble does, so not that bad. End turn. Alright, and hopefully I haven't forgotten anything other than leveling Tyrion, but surely that won't matter here. Now the question is going to be, are we able to declare war upon the Dreadfleet and knock out that army? I also would like to pick up a few of these islands. We got to get to Tordranil quickly as possible before Illyrian does. And just because it's a full set of settlements, though, being a red territory, I know, -18. I'll have to kill off the Jerkos that appear. Oh, Krace moves before? Darn. Alright, well, they're going to kill off Talaris, unfortunately. You want us to join war against Bellicor? We will. Absolutely, he has an amazing defeat rate. And, ooh, we can get more relationship with High Elves by defeating Grom the Paunch. Yeah, there are some enemies nearby for us. As long as somebody else can take care of the Dreadfleet. Don't do this as yet. And you went out to sea. Oh, thank you. Good job. And Talaris besieges. Yes. All right. I had a sneaking suspicion. So if there's no other armies nearby, we should be able to take them out. And frankly, I do wonder whether we can send a Lariel to Tordranil while Tyrion picks up an island or two. We'll probably have a turn or a couple of turns before we must move.
Dark elves to the ignorant races are an insidious threat, Prince Tyrion. Left unchecked, their cunning and malevolence will infiltrate High Elf society to its very core. Take steps to ensure this does not come to pass.
Alright, I don't remember what the actual reinforcements are in that battle. It's been a while. But it can counteract Confederation, which is the good thing. -61 dropped slightly. How's your relationship with everybody else? Okay, well, not great. Might want to use some of the influence on keeping them happy until we can confederate, as in keeping everybody happy. Gilgallion. You lost your main... Oh, wow, they lost their main stack attacking Griffin Gate. Are they now going to start losing territory? Would you idiots peace out, please? Oh, absolute idiots. Settlement besieged Toran, like Herald of Mathlan. Yes, always nice to have these guys. Everqueen of Ulthuan, no mercy, indeed. Alright, we'll give that a read later. For now, upkeep production for Lords and Heroes, good. And Defenders of Ulthuan, the fate of the body. I don't know what that means here, but we'll figure it out in a second. Province Nagaroth, yeah, we'll deal with that in a moment. I would like you, Ilariel, to get the Herald of Mathland to move further. And I forgot about the Court Attendant, but I was going to give that to a... tech thief. Alright, Io, kill Talaris. Wait. We need to make sure that... Can't actually tell whether Alistar is in range, but he does want the additional XP, so go here. And, oh, this army has landed as well.
My temper grows short.
Are you in range? Can't tell, the game's lying again. Alright, I'm just gonna hope that you're in range. No, not Tyrion. Ilariel.
Welcome.
Heal. And yes, we're in range. Will anybody die other than the garrison? Does not look like it. Alright. Then, Ilariel, I'm going to give the Banner of Avalorn 2. Gives regeneration. Gotta go with one of these guys. Too bad we don't have 3, but we can get a third one from the Wood Elves. And then the Horn of Isha, melee attack, and reload reduction. Put it on this for now until we get something else. Auto resolve. Killing off Talaris, getting you the defeat trait, and a little bit of bonus influence via random captives. Vanguard deployment, enemy killed in battle, and with that, the Scourge of Khaine falls. Deepwood branch for Alistar, yeah, you can hold on to that. You're kind of vulnerable to missile fire as well. Then, need to proceed here before somebody else takes it. So, Alistar and Ilariel, you cannot reach this in one go. You can end at the edge of Toran, like here. It's probably too poorly defended for us to be concerned with. Alistar, you can move in. Tyrion, you are going to go grab that mysterious island and then move to the Sea Corpse and then I guess loop back around this way. There's a lot of islands nearby, plus there's the Bellicor. I assume he'll come back and kill off this stuff. Oh, he's right there in fact. And then Grommy. Is Grommy at war with anybody? I mean, he's at war with Bretonnia. Actually, Bretonnia is an absolute shambles. Look how... this is not looking good. We gotta help him out soon. And you're here. Hopefully you don't attack... No, they're friendly now. Actually. Friendly-ish. Hopefully friendly enough. Nervous. Nervous laughter. Anyway, Tyrion, march stance, full speed stance, Mysterious Island. Grab that. We can also... Oh, there's Dastan. Go for Mushrooms too this time. Free Mathland's Blessing. And then move close to the Sea Corpse. Get ready to grab it next turn. Like so. And then we may even be able to land and help out at Tordranil. Not that it is necessary here. Then I would like to check diplomacy again. Yeah, we found the Heralds of Ariel. Ooh. Wait a moment. It's absolutely critical that we take Vol's Anvil. The best landmark in the game. 10% upkeep reduction faction-wide. It may actually be the most important thing that we do around here, so maybe we land here and then book it to Vol's Anvil quick as we can. Keep leveling Ilariel until she's rank 12 and then reset her. Oh, wow. 5,000 gold, eh? It's not bad. It would enable us to recruit some more stuff. But it's not like we can declare war on these guys yet, so I think we're okay. And we need the rank 10s before that army starts moving. This is cheaper now, right? Huh? 1100. That's only a 20% construction cost reduction. I was hoping for more. Well, public order is still needed, but 2k is much. Don't collect the income here. Or wait. Yeah, this place keeps rebelling because of the... We can actually use this to level up Ilariel and Alistar. This is not a bad idea, Ruinous. Thanks, Ruinous. Alrighty, I think that's what we'll do. Alright, let's pick our next tech. We'll hold off on this for now. Actually, income from all buildings +5. No, we're not holding off on that. We're getting that immediately. And what is after that? Ooh, capacity for 2 heroes, 2 more nobles. All convoys get an additional unit. Allegiance, allied recruitment unit capacity. And there's maximum number of active convoys here for more convoy fights. Man, this is where all our money's gonna go, but what can you do? It's more important, I think, even than buildings right now. At the very least, most buildings. We do have our first white lines as well, so we should get those as soon as we can. Anyway, let's give the next blurb a quick read. What did we have here? Not Defenders of Ulthuan, Everqueen of Ulthuan, no mercy. Alarielle watched with grim satisfaction as her forces swiftly dispatched the scattered Druki. They had lost much of the lands they had stolen in the past months, and Alarielle was confident they would soon be driven from Ulthuan entirely. For the briefest moment, Alarielle felt pity for her wayward kin, until her mother's vehement spirit filled her mind, her last memory surging into Alarielle's consciousness as if she were witnessing it firsthand. "And how is your new work coming?" Alarielle's mother asked. "Slowly, as these things always do," said Prince Ulthuan. "I have a great deal of research to go through before I even commit pen to vellum. That is why I am here, to consult the scholars of your court." He stroked her hand. "As well as to enjoy the boon of your company, of course." Ulthuan leaned forward to pour more wine. Unbeknownst to the Everqueen, he surreptitiously sprinkled some dark powder into the goblet. It was dragonspike, a poison inevitably fatal to mages, its effects stronger the more magical power they possessed, and the Everqueen had a very great deal indeed. Alarielle wept, powerless in the memory, as she watched her mother raise her glass to Urian Poisonblade. "Your health, Prince Ulthuan. May you live 1,000 years. And you, your serenity." The queen drank. Her eyes widened, the glass dropped from her hands. Alarielle returned to the present, gripping her stave tightly with a newfound determination. One of her generals approached her. "Your Serenity, we've got them on the run. Many of the cowards have surrendered to us. What should we do with them?" "Kill them," Alarielle said, the tears already drying on her cheeks. "Kill them all." And the fate of the body. As with all else in Ulthuan, the funerary traditions of I meant that quite literally. Traditions of High Elves are bound tight by millennia of precedent, protocol, and above all, seemliness. That's the precise rituals vary greatly with different realms and families, holding fast to different traditions. In Lothern, it is customary to lay a great hero in a funerary ship, which is then set adrift upon the Sea of Dreams to meet whatever fate may claim it. In Calador, bodies are put to the flame in order to more quickly free the spirit within. In Tiranoc and Illyrian, realms where connection to the land is strongest felt, great stone sepulchres are sunk into the ground, with whole generations of families laid out in silent repose upon slabs of marble and serpentinite. The elves of Cathik are of a more practical mind. Seeing the bodies of the slain as naught but empty vessels, they cast cadavers into the waves. Thus are Cathik's halls not only kept untainted by the dead, but the megalodons and sea dragons of the Cathican coast kept accustomed to a hunger for fresh meat. It is even said that in the heart of Avalorn there is a subterranean labyrinth of amber and jade. There, or so the legend tells, the empty shells that once belonged to handmaidens of the Everqueens sit upon thrones of ivory, their silken robes adorned with enough gemstones to drive a mortal mad with avarice. Yet such is the extreme lifespan of elves that it is not always easy to determine when death has occurred. Some nobles live in state for hundreds of years, lie in state for hundreds of years, their families convinced they have merely slipped into a long sleep and will awaken in their own good time. Some elven princesses have slept for centuries with fresh flowers and sometimes even suitors brought to their bedside each day by servants or relatives. Well, isn't that lovely? Anyway, I believe we are now ready to end the turn, so turn shall be ended. Skipifying and turn ending. We should, by the looks of it, be able to reach Tordranel. And it's going to be a while until we can properly build up the fortresses around Toranlek, but it's probably of necessity. With the loss of the 3 spears that we've taken out of Tyrion's army, will his army still be viable enough to face stacks on its own? He is still using basic archers, and the exalted units' needs must be delivered to him. And we could obviously transfer temporarily Alarielle's things, but I'd like to think that the Treekin wouldn't randomly serve Tyrion. Although the Treekin are kind of vengeful, so maybe. And the Dryads are super vengeful, so yeah, and spiteful. I was just thinking about them sensing the curse of Anarion and the influence of the sword. And that they might, but they might appreciate it. Alright, and a faction destroyed were heard of the Famine Fiend. How interesting. Are Bretonia taking back its territories? Excuse me? Carrick Ziflin. I wasn't expecting that. How strong? Oh, we don't have diplomatic contact. I was curious to see if they got a lot of territory. Bellicor. Oh, don't tell me he's going to steal the Silent. Oh, he's going to Crace. Okay. Shrine of Loek, we'll deal with that in a minute or a bit. Maybe next episode we'll see. What are you doing? You can't take Port Ellstor, can you? No, you can't. It's too well defended. So Ultharian's just chasing you, but oh, he's gonna get trespassing. Don't do that. Kievan Prince ready for duty. Good. He will be our recruiter lord. We've got more influence coming in from the Echelon manipulation, also good. Imminent Rebellion in Nagaroth, we expected. And Convoy complete Ingmir. No battles. And he got Knights of the Realm as well as Exalted Banner of Shatapi. Weapon strength plus 20%. Oh, that's a solid Exalted Banner right there. Alright, I will give this to Tyrion for now. We'll see who else can use it later. 20% weapon strength and 10 armor piercing.
I grow ever stronger.
These guys also don't like us very much. Either way, we gotta send a new convoy out. So that was here at Bregun. New convoy. You're returning. And, ooh, wait, while you're returning, you leveled up off of that, so let's get you Inspiring Presence. Then, the new convoy, either one... Looks like you're at full HP. You're very close to full HP. I guess we'll send the Ambassador to the Azrai to... Oh, Admaster first. Oh, we also need to level up. Okay, well, level you up first. You have Inspiring Presence, gotta go with Hidden Stores. Gotta max this out to get into army replenishers in foreign territory. I'm hoping that this counts the sea. If it doesn't, it'll be unfortunate. Add Master. And Ambassador to the Azure will fill you up with gold, and then... We can't go to the monoliths right now because it's dangerous. We've been to Bordelot. We could try Maragliano, that'll identify enemies here. We could try sailing past all this and going to the Star Tower. 4.8k for 7 turns. Yeah, maybe. Looking for reasonably safe locations. Of course, it could get attacked by the rats or by the vampire cows, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Dispatch, I wish you luck. And don't request. Not when you're being sent into danger, and not until we get better options. Better army options, anyway. You are good for now. New tech. We could pay for one of these. Very tempted to pay the 5,000 for this, but I think we'll hold off. Campaign movement rate here success is also nice, and this is only 3,000. Compared to 5,000. I will think about it for now. We'll select, I'm gonna say, the melee defense. Actually, wait. There's more units that are included in this, but... Actually, you know what, let's go for trumpeters, more units.
This knowledge is
So then,
Queen of Avalon.
Alariel and Alistar. If we have Alistar attack, would Alariel be able to return to Toran like before it... before the rebellion? I fear that we're gonna have to use Tyrion for it. Actually, wait, speaking of Tyrion, what do we have here? Oh! I had you in March stance, my bad, bud. Out of there. Are you fully out of there? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Approach the carcass. Decisive victory, low casualties. I'm going to give this to these guys. Actually, you know what? That might be better on the company of the Calendarian. And I don't remember who had this, but I assume it was one of the Axemen. And let's give this to Caradrian for now. We'll auto-resolve and just hope that it doesn't cripple our army. That's fine. And we will once again take the cash. Come on. I'm good. Thilmar Chariot for Vinola.
What do you require?
I mean, with the Briar Sheath, you could actually sneak up on some range units in theory. Maybe we'll keep you on that for now. Alright, some money and a potion of strength. Yeah, so you could easily reach the Mysterious Island, but then you'd have to move back. And then the enemies will appear here. I fear we have to skip it. We'll send somebody else, like Alistar, to pick up the Mysterious Island. Alright, so Alistar, go here. You will attack Dordrenel. And Alariel will move in to reinforce. Like so. And actually, considering that we don't have full stacks here, we are probably going to have to fight this. Quick little fight, but all good. You get very close to here, but not quite. Which is, I guess, fine. We'll have Tyrion do it.
Protector of the
oh. Even in... Wait. In full speed stance, yeah, okay, in full speed stance you should in theory be able to reach it. How's this looking now? Close victory, medium casualties, the wrong Prometheans are going to be the big issue, but I think we'll be okay. Do we need to level you? No, you got this, and then Alariel, you did not level up, and we're waiting for you to hit the next rank. You can hit Weapon Master. You need rank 12 for the good stuff, so we'll wait on that. And you don't have replenished troops. Oh, you got speed of Asuryan. Which is fine, don't get me wrong. Anyway, let's do this quick and without Tyrion. Go.
Asuryan wills it.
Alrighty, Asuryan wills it indeed. Here we go, we have got to wait for the reinforcements a little bit, and while we're waiting, I don't remember if I mentioned this at the start of the campaign, but once again we are doing an engagement threshold for a double episode, and if we get 400 likes and 70 comments on this episode, and the episode's going forward towards Saturday, we'll do a double episode on Saturday. Because that's when I have time. And I've already said this at the start of the episode and forgot about it. I do apologize, but as you all know, my memory ain't so good these days. Anyway, here we go. We're going to start off by moving the Handmaidens of the Everqueen forward, which actually have a very solid 700 missile strength, and with Banish on it. Now, they appear to have no splash/explosive damage on that missile fire of theirs whatsoever, and I did test it out by sending a few arrows the way of some of the enemy infantry units. And fortunately, it only kills 1 unit per shot, so we switch the fire instead to the enemy vampire fleet captain. Unfortunately, since the Handmaidens of the Everqueen are mounted, the vampire fleet captain has no hope of catching him, and though they only do about 5% of its HP and damage per shot, that's actually not so bad. I'm just going to have to keep firing, and regardless of the invocation, or the invocation of Mehek here, we're starting to do some damage, down by about 25% of its HP. And the units that try to move in are going to get hit by our single artillery piece. 4 arrows sticking out of that vampire now, while we await the arrival of the enemy. Now, we do still have to be careful here. The enemy does have a decent amount of range units, which are obviously going to be potentially high damaging to us. But hopefully we can rush through the enemy melee ranks with our Treekin and then close the distance with the range units, with Alistar on his chariot, and of course with the Eagles, and then prevent them from dishing out damage. Alright, how are we doing here? Enemy, oh, well, look at that. The enemy vampire fleet captain is down to about 30% of their HP. And by the looks of it, we'll die before reaching our battle lines solely to fire from the 2 handmaidens. Alright, I like that. That's decent. It's not a crazy amount of damage, but it feels decent. Usually I tend to get disappointed with any amount of range damage from range lords and heroes. But actually the High Elves are pretty okay with it if we consider Eataine, who does plenty of range damage. Anyway, now we can switch those single target arrows to the next big threat, which is the Rotting Prometheans. Our Eagle Claw bolt throwers are firing upon them as well, and I'm sure the anti-large of one of the units of spears to pin them in place, plus the handmaidens firing upon them, will dish out plenty of damage. In the meantime, as the enemy army closes in and their range units draw into range, we start rushing towards them. Alistar will lead, taking these shots for the Everqueen here, which any elf would, and then rush through the melee line and charge right through that unit of a zombie pirate deckhand mobs, doing 30% damage by himself and a solid 3,000 damage on the charge. I like it. Our Eagles also close the distance. Unfortunately, they do take a full volley from the handgunners, losing about half their HP, but no models so far. And the important aspect of this being that we can heal them by Alariel first protecting them with Faw's protection and popping off that Earthblood as soon as we can. Alright. And other than that one handgunner unit, it looks like we have closed the distance. The zombies fighting against the spears, with of course the Treekin holding the enemy back. And the Treekin did take a volley from the enemy bombers, but of course one of our Treekin has regeneration thanks to the banner they hold, and the bombs don't really do anything to them. In fact, when I played Vampire Ghost, I really loved doing the combination of using bombers on your own team combined with a mainline infantry of animated hulks, which take effectively no damage from the bombs, and allow the bombs to do their work without, destroying half your own infantry in the process. Either way, the enemy army is in pretty bad shape, with the balance of power shifting to about 90%. The enemy melee completely bogged down, and the enemy range pretty much all destroyed at this point. The rotting Prometheans have now been executed by the combined might of the spears, the Eagle Claw, and the Handmaidens. And now between Alariel and Alistar are leading from the front. The last of the zombies will soon melt away and give, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, the very last territory on Ulthuan that is currently not in elven hands, and back to its rightful owners. Unless there's a ruin left somewhere from Eastman or something. But I'm not entirely sure, because it looked like Illyrian settled everything. Either way, the ranks of High Elf spears are closing in as the zombie numbers dwindle. Eagles have arrived to aid Alariel, and I'll probably actually keep a few eagles with her. I kind of like the idea with some... with more of the nature stuff. We can't just do Sisters of Avalorn, and as I like to say, I don't like to repeat the same army compositions between different campaigns. Either way, a decisive victory and surprisingly little damage, the most by far to the Eagles, who lost half of their HP, but didn't lose a single model, and therefore will recover to full. Lovely. Alrighty, there we go. A very solid fight and no significant damage on our units. We were able to make good use of the Treekin and, well, frankly, good use of pretty much everybody. Solid 7.6k damage on Alistar and his chariot. A little bit more from the spears. Oh, 11k on the Dryads. Very nice. The Treekin held the line and the Great Eagles bled those zombies, as they do. Alistar will occupy the place, ranking up to rank 10.
Can I offer
Alright, yes. Giving him the dedication to Kurnus. Reductions for right lines and war lines. Then Ancestral Axes, getting him ready for getting those guys on field. And then 2 more levels. He gives us Lion's Pride. Beautiful. Alrighty, Alariel in the meantime can... Well, again, we probably shouldn't go here because then she'll get directly attacked by them. And by them I mean the... little army that spawns. So Tyrion, we're going to use you for this purpose. So you're going to go right there. And we're going to pop you into Toranlek. We'll let the garrison, or we may even let you leave. Well, actually, it depends on how much money we save by garrisoning you. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
A fine
Oh, okay, ooh, for a second I thought he wasn't actually able to reach the place. Alistar will briefly send to grab the island here. And then Alariel can stay until she reaches rank 12 at Toranlek, farming these things. Plus, we can collect the money here. This gives us no control bonuses, and we will never really expect the place to make a lot of cash, so this will be a good training ground for new lords. You can go into Rebuild Lost Splendor. Would have helped during the Shrine of the Widowmaker, which we have now. Oh! What we could do, potentially... is next turn move Tyrion to grab the Sword of Khaine. We got 10 turns, I believe, until it becomes thirsting, until it evolves to give us too many public order malices and relationship malices, which would allow us to potentially raise whatever the Twisted Glade, and then either proceed to Volzandel or maybe even go directly for Bellicor if we can find him, or Grom, and then put the sword back potentially. There is that option, and that way we get to play with the sword a little and then get to use it again as needed after putting it back without suffering those malices in the early game. Anyway, I will think about it. What I want to do here is see 4.7k versus... it's 400 gold, and it'll rebel regardless, so yeah.
Alariel the Everqueen.
And you, yeah, it is rank 12, unfortunately. Oh, also... do you still get that thing where if you go into a settlement, you get buffs? Let me just see here.
My loyal subject.
Like the visit of the Everqueen? Huh. Or does she actually need to... wait a moment.
Priestess of Isha.
Alariel leaves lingering bonuses on regions she visits, but does she need to end the turn in the region? I don't know. Sit in Tordranil then, and then we'll see, I guess. If you leave a lingering... Right, you have visited this place. Yeah, okay, so it does work. I get +1 influence, +2 control, +10 growth. All of which is quite nice. Frankly, there's something to be said for after she gets to rank 12 to just have her be a constructor lord for at least a little while in the early game, making use of the construction cost reduction and visiting every single place. I will think about it, though. On the one hand, I hate to not have a legendary lord, you know, doing stuff. On the other hand, it is the Everqueen. She's kind of not supposed to be out there, although Ilariel is. But anyway, Cadrill, you should have, thanks to the level ups, now be able to recruit stuff. Although,
For the Phoenix King.
I suppose we can use the Lord, like I said, to get even cheaper recruitment here, which I think we'll want to do. So, Cadrill, you will briefly proceed to... Oh, we can't leave Angariel, can we, because of the presence of these guys.
What is your demand?
How much money do we lose if we do this?
Duty calls.
Ugh. None of this reduces upkeep reduction, does it? Apparently not. Unfortunate. Alright, fine then. Shrine of Asuryan. Prince. Organized. Recruit.
Guardian of the Phoenix.
Root Marcher into 1, 2... Ooh, do we go with the 3rd level into Bonded Service, or do we go for Inspiring Presence? So that he levels up. He will want Merchant Lord. Fine, we'll do this. It's 5%, it's not that big of a deal. Then, what we will do is... You have no bonuses here, do you, to recruitment? No. We will go to Champion of Ulthuan. No, yes, Champion of Ulthuan, and then we will go Lead by Experience. Oh. And we could level up Cadrill's army. Okay, you know what? Do this. Transfer all troops. Right here. I'll just transfer everybody. I don't know if there's any need. Then we will do Champion of Ulthuan. We will Lead by Experience, like so. Like so.
Your service is
Imperative issued. Then you
Guardian
can
of the
do
Phoenix
this. And Cadrill can return to Angariel with all the troops having ranked up by 1, and you are free to recruit at higher ranks. Now the question is, should we only have this for 3 turns on the one hand, but we don't have access to a crazy amount of the various exalted units, so if we want to, we're free to actually briefly switch you to get even more recruit ranks via Rally Citizen Militia. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll go into Promenade right now. I think I jumped the gun a little bit. Should have done Kevin next turn, but I got excited. That's life. Just build the Elven Embassy for now. We'll get rid of it later on if we need to. And then go into Rally Citizen Militia. We'll use this to recruit all the currently available units of Exalted units. Well, all the currently available Exalted units, including those Rangers. I was thinking about giving a bunch of Exalted Rangers to Alistar together with those White Lions. And then we'll move to the guy in Vale where we'll recruit Alistar's White Lions and get him up and running. Maybe by the end of next episode if all of that proceeds as planned. Alright, that looks pretty good. No more money to spend, or at the very least, well, actually, I lied. We will want to get the Craftsman here. So, oh, wow, -7. Yeah, but that's because of this -8. It'll fix itself. We can immediately fix it with Tyrion's recruitment quest as well, but I think, or recruitment quest, his Dragon Armor, Anarian's Dragon Armor quest. But we may want to wait until the next Confederation to deal with both of those. Yeah, either way, get the Haven here. Oh, you're out of... You were in growth mode. Alright, so you're going to need to switch to rebuild Lost Splendor anyway, so we'll have to wait until that to build everything up. This is fine, and it's switching. Gaian Vale. We could, in the meantime, upgrade the Promenade. Fine, do it. And... yeah, just upgrade the Exotic Animal Store or Exotic Pet Store, whatever it is, because... we will want a couple more Eagles on fields, and eventually those... wow, 41 growth. We'll need those Phoenixes, but we'll also need to build growth structures here. There's no choice in the matter. Our growth is too curtailed. And none of this gives us growth, unfortunately. Gotta wait for that Invocation of Asuryan. Ooh, do we spend the 6k for the Invocation of Evolve? We're going to recruit next turn. And these guys are very expensive to recruit because the Exalted units are much more costly. I think we gotta wait. Alright, any Confederation look close to us? No. Zafri's still hovering around 66. You guys are still reasonably friendly. I think we're okay. It doesn't seem like they'll randomly attack them, at least I hope not. Alright, let's skip the rest of this, including the Imminent Rebellion. We'll go for the Commandment in Toranlek to... I guess rebuild Lost Splendor. We'll still want to upgrade Tordranil and get the defenses up and running everywhere. Ugh. Though I hate to spend the money on this. I guess we can keep the rally field here as well because it gives us a little bit of extra garrison. Eventually we'll get rid of it probably for a craftsman. Alright, so that looks good. Then, I think we had one more little blurb, then we can end the turn and see what we have to see. Right? Am I crazy? Yeah, Shrine of Loic. We had Shrine of Loic. Loic, the Shadow Dancer, is also known as the Elven God of Laughter. He is the trickster, patron of dances, songs, and plays, the equivalent to Kegarak in 40k. The elf, for some reason, yeah, a lot of elven gods, like Vol and stuff, share the names, but in fantasy it's Loic as opposed to Kegarak. But anyway, the elf legends tell that he often saves the souls of the dead from Slaanesh by tricking the Dark Prince out of his prize. And such is true, though no rescue is guaranteed, and even successes cost the Shadow Dancer more of his strength than he would care to admit. Loic appears to the elves as a lithe youth who dances across the void, and his laughter stirs the souls and spirits that dwell there. Without him, it is said, the heavens would grow dull and cold, for the stars in the night sky would no longer have reason to remain wakeful. The Chaos Gods hunt Loic as he dances, but the Shadow Dancer is tireless and cunning and can never be caught. There is a darker side to Loic as well. He is the god of shadows, malicious trickery, vengeance, and dark deeds. The elves of Lost Nagaryth worship him, for they use stealth and darkness to enact their revenge. And it's appropriate we get to read about the Shrine of Loic, considering we have two of our convoys as using war dancers of Loic. Shadow dances of Loic, yeah. Right, I believe that's it for this turn. End turn. A lot of our heroes and this stuff up and running now. And there, Gilgallian's back. Although not for long. Sorry, Gilgallian.
Speak freely.
Asuryan,
Sure
you don't like... Oh,
reach
that's
an
just the
accord.
Confederation thing. You want us to join war against the Dreadfleet. How about you do something about the Dreadfleet, huh? Have you ever considered that? You could have sailed down and taken them out. But you can't rely on your allies. But once we declare war, maybe we can order him to occupy it. Though I have a feeling that Cadril's just going to have to deal with it herself. It's unlikely that we can rely on them. But all good. Oh man, it's going to be such a major decision as to whether we go for the Vol's Anvil or Be'lakor. I'm kind of worried the Be'lakor will land here. But at the same time, Vol's Anvil is absolutely critical. It'll enable us to get, like, 2 more armies on field at once. Upkeep production by 10% faction-wide is very significant, especially when we use cheap armies led by the Ardent Princesses. Altar ready. Oh, I know, game. I know. And hello. Wait a moment. Oh, it's quest issued. I thought it was complete. Huh. Oh, it is completed. Oh, capture and occupy the Phoenix Gate. Well, that was easy. I assumed that this would have been a quest, but I guess we get this for free then, essentially. Well, isn't that lovely? And our Confederation debuff will be fixed. Oh, but unfortunately this will mean that this place will not... the rebellion will no longer happen for a while. But most likely, since we're not building or looking to build public order buildings, it'll still eventually rebel. Whatever. A great stain is upon the land. Avalorn suffers, and so the light within the shield stone of Isha dims. For the first time in the god's memory, the Druki, the lost kin, have taken the Phoenix Gate. Finnebar and Tyrion are rightly distracted by the momentous events of the Vortex, but Illyriel has never been a queen that merely perches upon a throne. She will act. The Phoenix Gate will return to Asur hands. Rebellion, yes. Shark 2 destroyed. Torsarwar will read next time. Ready for duty, Archmage of Fire. Fire Archmage, you say? Sounds like a legendary lord. Or a community canon lord. Michaela will return. Anyway, Shieldstone. Good. Then, you're actually able to directly reach Gilgallian. Good. And I guess we'll send Alistar. Is the Mysterious Island more important than leveling you up slightly? Maybe. For it. It could give us, I want to say, 1.5k to 5k, depending. You will go for Power Prescience. You got nothing. Well, that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Well, I guess you can keep the Berserker's sword. That did not go as planned. I was hoping for cash, damn it. Oh well. Alariel, you are going to attack poor little Gilgallion here. We could let him build up, but I don't really want to wait for Tyrion to... Huh. I can't actually tell whether you're in range, Tyrion. Damn it. Okay, it's kind of annoying. Alright, go here. We'll definitely be in range. To waste your movement range, but it is what it is.
Alariel guides me.
Yeah. Yeah, see, now he's definitely in range. Alright, quickly, a little out of resolve against the poor elves. Huh. Maybe capture that Eagle Claw Bolter. Resolve. And no significant damage. Good. Take the money.
You are free to go.
And Armor Fortune. Nice pickup. No free Eagle Claw Bolter, alas. Alrighty, I think, folks, with that, there is no more time remaining. I see Belcor's still floating out there, and I am going to call this particular episode here. You will, 1 second, now begin the... Definitely the Exalted Elven Archers with... Okay, definitely both of these. We want 2 Exalted Illyrian Reavers and Reaver Archers. This is all going to quadrille. Then we'll have the Rangers for Tyrion maybe for a little while, and then eventually... Oh, wrong Rangers, oops. Exalted High Elven Rangers, like so. To join the White Lions. Why the Rangers with the White Lions? Because these guys are Forest Striders and White Lions are Woodsmen. That's basically the my idea here. Plus, Rangers are fragile. So regular Rangers have very low melee defense and a high, reasonably melee attack, and White Lions are the same way. Melee attack, weapon defense, and the Armor Sundering will work nicely with the low armor-piercing weapon damage of the Rangers, so the two could potentially complement each other. Plus, I don't want to repeat the sort of exact same armies I do in other campaigns, so yeah. I'll probably recruit the rest just to get them on field and leveling, and we will be making a Spear Lord, so we'll make these guys as well. But frankly, there's also buildings that we need to build. We do have 2 more turns of this, so we don't have to be concerned about it. But anyway, the first of our Exalted units and getting on field. Though we'll have to wait until next time to see him, so stay tuned for more Tyrion. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially for Threshold, for the double episodes. All glory to the algorithm on Saturday, and thanks for watching.